For my presentation, I decided to do how to stream to Twitch from using OBS to Twitch TV. Now, I did decide to opt out of the face cam because I have both a chroma key set up for streaming to Twitch, and I was hoping maybe score a few extra points by doing a full body presentation versus just the face cam. Now, in order to do this, you're going to need both a Twitch account, which you can create an account here, and you're going to need OBS, which can be found there. Simply choose your operating system, Windows, OS, or Linux, and then choose your version, original or multi-platform. And if you do download Windows, it installs both the 32-bit and 64-bit. This is the encoding settings. I have kind of my settings set up for here. Some of these aren't very important, but for example, the audio encoding, 48 kilohertz, is DVD quality for audio. That's normally set to, I believe, 41.1 kilohertz, and I prefer to turn it up some. The resolution, this is of the resolution that you're streaming in. 1080p is standard, kind of the standard quality that streamers tend to go in. I have it downscaled to 720p because I am dealing with a couple of different internet speeds, and I chose to do the fastest file format at 60 frames per second for optimal quality. This is the audio. Choosing default sets it to whatever your desktop is putting out. A lot of these aren't really necessary unless you have a lot of background sound. Choosing the microphone, that's a drop-down menu. I choose my Blue Yeti normally, but I just updated my program so it's not in there. This massive code is how you stream to Twitch. That's what it reads. We'll get to that later, but for mode you choose live stream. Streaming service in this case would obviously be Twitch, and then you would just choose from the drop-down menu. In this case it says US West Coast San Francisco. You would choose whichever one is closest to your location. This is the how to get the stream key. You're going to go to that link right there, replacing John281, that's my username, with your username. There will be a button down here to show key. Copy that key and paste it in the section right there, and that will link up essentially OBS and Twitch. And then to create scenes, you right click on this blank square. It's normally blank, but I have plenty of games in there. Right click on it, and that will bring up this menu, and you can add a scene and choose, and then this window will pop up. You can choose a name for the scene and press OK, and that will create the scene. And the scene will show up right here with all of different elements in it. To choose a game capture, I just have Minecraft chosen because that's a fairly popular game to stream. You just choose from the drop-down menu of the different games available. Not all games will work with this, I've found, but there's a couple other ways we can do it, and we'll get to that in a second. And there's plenty of options that are fairly self-explanatory as to different parameters you'd like to set. Gamma is darkness, for example, how dark or bright the game is. Here's another example, Windows. This is window capture. Instead of capturing from the game, you're capturing the window itself. And you probably want to take inner window for that, so you're not capturing the area like I am. I chose that so that you could see it was window capture. Probably do not capture mouse cursor if it's a first-person shooter game, or else you always have the mouse in the center of the screen. For monitor capture, you choose, this is a kind of a worst-case scenario. If nothing else is working, choose the monitor you want to capture, put the game in full screen, and kind of fill out your settings from here. Again, gamma is darkness, opacity is how clear things are. The chroma key, the color key, you don't really need to worry about. That's if you have a green screen. Most people won't have a green screen set up. And there were so many things on this, I decided to actually go in and shade out a lot of the unnecessary stuff. For this one, it's just a webcam. I chose my Logitech webcam. You can flip the image if you need to, change the opacity, which is how clear it is. Turning that down will make things kind of invisible. And the audio you probably want to turn off unless you're using your webcam microphone. This is to put an image in. You simply choose the image selection on the scene, and you can browse the different images on your. That'll take you to your desktop, and you'll kind of choose through which ones you want. Set a background color. You can do a chroma key for this as well, and clicking browse will bring up this screen, and you can see this is my stream background, my normal stream background there. This is to set up a slideshow. You can put a bunch of images in here and have it change. You can set how long you want it to go between changing, disable fading. You can randomize the videos if you want. Again, you can change opacity, and you can change the order in here as well for which, if you want a specific order. And then you should be able to just click OK, and that will, in the same way the image will, it will go through that order. This is text. Simply enter the text you want in here, and then choose the font you want, the color you want, the opacity, stuff like that. If it's too long to fit in the text box you choose, and we'll get to that in a second, if it's too long for that, you can set how fast it'll scroll, how the opacity of the background, and so on. This is for global scenes. You can't have multiple scenes in different. You can't have multiple sources rather in scenes, so you have to put them in a global one. For example, my face cam, I have to have in the global so that they will show. Click global sources. That'll bring up this or this window rather. Add and then follow the instructions down below. It was a simple piece going there. This is what it looks like when you're previewing stream. You can see the frames drop, how long you've been previewing, and so forth. And this red box you can kind of see surrounding it is because I have that selected, and this is so you can edit the scene. You can see the button I have selected there. You can edit the scene, and again you can see a red box. This one's actually, I have the opacity set to 0 because this is a special drop-down menu. And I've deselected the face cam. I've unticked that box, which took the face cam away from this area right here. And with that, I was able to remove the face cam, and you can untick any of these and these will disappear. If you remove the background, it goes to a black screen. And as you can see here, this is an image I took earlier, which is why it's not moving, but I'm actually using OBS to record this presentation right now, which is how I have the chroma key set up and how everything is moving. And I'm simply have it, the presentation open on full screen on one monitor, and I'm recording myself over that monitor in order to capture. So, I think that's about it for my presentation. Hopefully you enjoyed. And then again, this is to, when you start streaming, it will actually say live down here and how long you've been live, so you can see dropped frames is when things start to drop, and that's your current frames per second, and your current speed. Of course, I was having a couple errors right before doing this, so my speed was actually 0, but normally that will show whatever speed you're presenting, and it'll show different colors, red for very slow, green for, up to par.